Okay, we're live. Hello, my name is Amir, and welcome to this month Twitch stream, which is March. So this one, as you can see, I'm using Snap Camera for now to show you how does it work and what is Snap Camera for you guys that maybe don't know about this Snap Camera. So as you guys know that we've been starting working from home, and I think most of you guys also do the same thing, and we use video chat and everything. So Snap Camera applies those filters that Snapchat has. Now you can see some of the featured stuff, and then you can use it with your like chat application, like I don't know, Google Hangouts, Zoom, and much more stuff. And in here you can see these are some of the featured lenses, and we added a new category called working from home, actually. Yeah. And this is my favorite. This is really cool. This is really funny. And also you can search for your lenses. If you're looking for something, you can just search and you can find your lens. I don't have anything in my mind, so I can search for the lens that I made a while ago. So you can just like search a name and it gives you the lens. Cool. Okay, and so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna use Lens Studio to create the lens for Snap Camera that you guys can use it in your meetings. So sometimes in a meeting, like my background is not that cool, and I'm gonna just like blur the background or just like remove the background so no one can see my background. So I can use Lens Studio and segmentation and all this stuff that you guys might know to remove the background and do some effects. So with that said, I'm gonna open Lens Studio and we can continue from there. Let's close the Snap Camera for now and then Lens Studio. Okay. Now when you open this Lens Studio, you can see there is in the updates bar, there is a section called the new touch interactivity, which is the new UI that we've been working on and we just recently released it. So I'm gonna use that to make my lens. So with that said, click on download and it opens the Lens Studio website. So you can see the guides here. I'm gonna scroll through it. Okay. And on the top of the guide, you can see there is a button for the download the UI system. I'm gonna click that to download the UI system. And now you can see I have a LSO that it's called UI widget. I don't know why it's showing the QuickTime icon here, but doesn't matter. I'm gonna open a new project and start from there. Okay, now I'm gonna change this actually to iPhone 8 so I can be bigger here. And then what I'm gonna do is to import that what's it called, the LSO. To do that, I'm gonna drag it and drop it into the objects panel like this. And it's here. You can ignore that error, and now you can see, you cannot ignore that actually. You can see the UI is not showing here. I'm gonna push my camera so you can see more of my face. You can see there is no way to view the stuff in here. And now you can see there is like they are rendering under the orthographic layer, like in here. And our camera is only rendering the default layer. So how can we do that? Like all the UI stuff is based on the screen space. So to do that, we need to add the orthographic camera to be in the screen space and no perspective into it. To add the orthographic camera, we're gonna click on add new, and I'm gonna search for screen image, which creates a orthographic camera with it. So now that I created this, I can delete the image and then drag and drop the UI that I imported earlier under the camera. Now you can see I have some stuff here going on. I have a color slider, toggle, button, and this dude that it's showing that you can click here. Cool. What we're going to do is right now start using this UI to create some effects in the full screen. So what I'm going to do is create the material that it's based on the material editor and use the UI to control that material. So, but the material that I'm going to create, I wanted to control the whole screen, like all the effects in this screen, like the full screen effect. So with that said, it's that material. If we search for graph, you're going to see there is a graph called post effects, which apply all the effects into the full screen. So I'm going to import that, but I cannot use that anywhere yet. Okay. To use that, the simplest way and the easiest way that I found is always just like adding a color correction post effects. Just searching for color correction. Excuse me. And then replace the material with the material that we created earlier. Now I can go ahead and delete the color correction. Now you can see there is some stuff happening. I'm gonna rename this to I cannot type, my full screen effect, or my post effect, maybe there's better name. But now you can see I imported that. There is a fix going on. That thing is going back and forth. So what is that thing? It's because like the graph post effects material comes with a preset that it's doing that sliding thing. But we don't need that for now. To remove that, you need to open the graph. To open the graph, you just like select the graph material and double click on it. Now you can see the graph here. I'm gonna close that for now because we don't need that. And then I'm gonna look what is happening right now. So I think I don't need most of these stuff. I'm gonna delete that. And the reason is you cannot see me anymore because there is nothing into the post effect right now. Like the actual output of a shader is kind of empty. Okay. So for you guys to see me again, to do that, it's really simple. I'm gonna try to optimize the size of here so I can see you guys see the graph better. So I have the screen texture here that you can see here. So the screen texture, if you don't know about it, you can go on it and click on the eye, and it gives you the short brief of like what is this thing is. And if you want to learn more, you can click on it. But screen texture is a texture of the screen render up to this point. So that's what we need. That's a picture of me that is rendering on this node right now, or the texture of the camera. So I just need to connect this to the main shader, but the problem is this is texture 2D, and the input for the main shader is RGB. So I'm just gonna click and drag, and it gives me some option, like it knows like what option you can have to convert that. I'm gonna select the texture sample to get the sample from my texture, and then connect the RGB to here. Now you can see there is something happening. I think that's kind of like my skin color. So the problem is the UV size right now is 0, 0, and we don't need that. Actually, we need the UV of the screen. So I already have the node here, screen UV, and I'm gonna connect it to here. I'm back. Cool. We just made a shader that it's showing the full screen image. That's nice. That's a good start. Okay. So what I'm gonna do first with these cool stuff is use the color picker to change the color on my screen. I want to multiply color on top of the screen, and you can change it. So let's see what option does the color picker has. So intractable, yeah, we definitely need to be intractable. We want it to be intractable. If you uncheck that, you cannot move it anymore. Okay, I'm gonna keep that turned on. And there is like an input here that you can just like super easily apply mesh there, and it change the color. To show you guys how easy it is to do that, I'm gonna import the sphere. Ooh. What? Why is my sphere is not visible here? Is it because of that? What's happening? Okay, I'm gonna again add the sphere to the scene, and for now I'm gonna actually put it to orthographic camera so we can see it there. I'm gonna 0.0 and you can see it here. Okay, cool. Oh, actually I know what it is, because it's showing the rendered the post effect that we have is just like showing the output of the orthographic camera. So to show you guys how easy it is to change the color of something with the color picker, you just need to drag and drop and put it here. And now you can see it's simple as that. You can see you changing a color really easy. So what is happening right now? So what does it do? The color picker is kind of smart, and it looks for a base color. Like it finds the base color in the material of this one. Like if we create the material in here, let's create the simple PBR so I can show it to you guys. Okay, and apply it to the sphere. You can see still it's changing a color. So what does it do? It just like look for this value, which is called base color, and when it's find it, it change the value based on the input of the user. So what we can do to just like take advantage from that, and without using any code to change the color on the screen, I'm gonna open my graph VBR and add the color node, color parameter. Like if I wanted to just like have the ability to change the color in the inspector, I need to have a parameter, and I want it to be color, so I add a color parameter, and then add another node and call multiply. Awesome. I'm gonna connect this. I'm gonna try to be clean and connect it to the A and connect this to the B. And here, I'm gonna try to minimize that. I'm using trackpad and it's kind of hard to do that right now. Okay, I'm gonna actually put my inspector here for now so I can see my graph better. If I can move this, okay, I can do this. Okay, now you can see there is a couple of nodes. So the most important thing is a color parameter that we have. And in the example that I showed to you in here on the simple PBR, if you go here, we were changing the base color. So I'm gonna click on this and change this to base color, same as the simple PBR, and call this base color to, so my material is kind of clean. Okay, now you can see I have an input of base color here, and if I click on this and go here, I can change the color, but still it's not working here. So let's let's make it work. Click on the UI picker. I'm gonna bring the inspector back here so you can see it. I'm gonna switch back and forth. I have a color picker, and in here that you can have an input, I'm gonna put my full screen effect. And now you can see I'm changing the color without doing any code at all. I'm multiplying a color on top of here. So another problem is, like when I refresh the lens, it always stays in the middle that I don't want it to be. I want it to be kind of white color, so user can know they can just change the color in here. You can do that really simple. In the edit properties, you can see there is an initial position. This means like when you reload the lens, where is it gonna start? Now it's starting from 0, which I don't want. I actually want start from 1. Cool. Now you can see there is a color changing here, which is kind of nice. I like it. Okay, now next what I want to do is blur the background, because like my background, as you can see right now, I don't like it that much. So you can see my top of the ceiling and everywhere. And so I'm gonna blur that out. So to blur that, let's put the inspector back here. Maybe I can place it somewhere better. Is it good? No, I don't think so. I'm gonna switch back and forth here. Okay, and hopefully I don't break anything. Okay. Okay, let's go to material editor. Okay, to blur the background, you need to add the blur to the material. So to adding the blur is kind of complex in a sense, but luckily we have a blur subgraph that it's already doing what we want. You just search for blur in here, and you can see there is a couple blur here. I'm gonna get the Gaussian blur and make sure to save the project. So I'm gonna call it my snap camera lens. Okay, that's a bad naming, but we're gonna go with it for now. Okay, Gaussian blur, yeah. So the reason that I said that it's kind of complicated, you can figure it out by double clicking on that, and you can see there is so many nodes connected together, and I'm kind of scared to look at that. So to use that, but I cannot make that, but I can use that definitely with the subgraph. So what does it need to create that blurry texture? It needs the texture. I'm gonna connect the texture. Okay, we have a texture that I want the camera render to be blurred. Okay, and then there is a size that it's showing, like how much do you want it to be blurred, and the resolution that we're not gonna touch it for now, for today. And I'm gonna connect the output to here. Now you can see it's blurry, and you can change the blurriness of it in here, and you can kind of hide that edge in here, and no one can see it. I'm gonna put it for 1 for now, and then now you can see it's not working anymore. The reason is because there's no more color multiplication apply. So I'm gonna connect this, and I connect to the wrong one, and now you can see you have a blur with the color multiply here. I'm gonna remove that for now. I'm gonna keep this screen UV because I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna use it pretty soon. Okay, I'm gonna keep this, but now you can see the problem is I wanted to the blur only apply to the background, not to my face. So to fix that, we need to have kind of like a mask to tell the computer to don't blur my face, only blur the background. And that mask in Lens Studio is called segmentation. Segmentation is real-time mask that it's masking the like face, hair, background, sky, and much more option. So to add the segmentation, you click in the resources panel on add new and search for segmentation. And I'm gonna use a portrait background. But as you guys know, if I bring my inspector here, you can see there is like a type that you can choose. You can choose a hair segmentation, portrait, shoulder, and everything. You can just like change the segmentation in the inspector. So with that said, I'm gonna add my segmentation into my material editor. To add that, I just need the input for that. And the input is texture parameter, like everything that we need to want it to be input, you just like search for a parameter. And I'm gonna call this segmentation texture. And I'm gonna call this segtext. Okay, think that's kind of making sense. Okay, I have this and I have the blur background, but I also need the actual no blur of my face. So we need to recreate that again. So to create the without blur, we need to, again, texture sample that we just deleted 2 seconds ago. Texture sample, and I'm gonna connect this and connect this to here. Oh, I told you that I need the screen UV. Now you can see this is my clear version. This is the blurry version. And if I connect this to here, you cannot see anything because there is no segmentation applied to the graph material. I'm gonna bring back, I don't need the scene config. I'm gonna bring my inspector back here. You can see now there is an input for segmentation. If I place this here, you can see the live segmentation that is happening here, which is really nice. And of course, you can go ahead and change the feathering, invert the mask, and do much more stuff. Okay, now that we have all these three, which is mask, which name is segmentation, clear, and the blurry, we need to mix these three together. To mix them together to create only blur for the background, we need a node called mix. And I'm gonna say, I want my clear face and the blurry face to mix together based on the segmentation color. And then connect the RGBA node to here. Now you can see the blurriness is applying to my back. And I can obviously invert the mask and make my face blurry. And of course, you can, it's not happening. Okay, we actually need to, instead of connecting, now you can see I'm connecting the Gaussian blur output node, but I need to apply them all after multiply. Gonna bring this back a little bit and move these guys a bit and to make everything clean. Now I can change my background color. Now you can see it's much cooler right now already. Like if I just change it to desktop and come here, you can see how cooler it is already. And of course I can go here and change the amount of the blurriness. I think right now I need to, I want to have some slider to control this size, which would be nice, I think, to add that. So to do that, let's actually do that. Let's create another slider for the Gaussian blur. Okay, let's go here, and then what I'm gonna do is create another slider to control the blurriness. To do that, the first thing is I need to have a parameter that kind of be exposed to the editor that I can just like slider that I can change to change the blurriness. To do that, it's really simple. Is you go here and add the node and search for float parameter. And I'm gonna connect this to here. And now you can see I already have something, but in here you can see the number was from 0 to 2. So to have the exact same thing, I can enable min and enable max and put the max on 2. So now I have a cool slider that it's kind of controlling the blurriness of the background, as you can see here. And I'm gonna call this blur amount, and here, make sure to remember that and call this blur amount. Okay. Now that we have that blurring value, we need to have a code and also a slider to do that for us. First, let's create the slider for that. I'm gonna duplicate the color picker, and then in here, I'm gonna move this a little bit to the right. Yeah, and if you guys hearing any sound, that's my cat is playing with her pencil here. That's a problem of the being live. And now you can see there is a kind of weirdness that this one is rendering behind that one. To fix that, you just like need to change the order in the objects panel hierarchy. Now you can see it's changing color and it's drawing on top of that. And also this one is doing the same thing, which is we don't want. So let's change the name. Let's first save and then go here, and I'm gonna call this UI blur picker. That's a fun name. Okay, and then now you can see it's not changing the color, but it's also already showing the like a rainbow gradient, which is kind of weird. We don't want that. So to change that, we can change it to 2 color. We can say from white to white, and the top white I want it to have like a little bit of opacity. So now you can see it's white here, and when we go here, it's kind of blurry, kind of looking. And I already I'm actually gonna create the texture in here that we can change this to another color that we can use. So I'm gonna find the gradient and right click on it and show in Finder. And I'm gonna open it in Photoshop to create another texture for the blurriness that it feels like it's blurry. I'm not gonna spend too much on it, but what I'm gonna do is actually we can add the color overlay and make it white, and also let's see how does it work. And also I'm gonna have a eraser here, and then change my brush hardness to 0 and make it really big. Oop, I think I made it huge. Okay, now you can see. Oh my god, my computer is dying. Okay, I can boop do that, and now I think I got a cool. I wish I put one more. Let's do one more. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's kind of cool. It's okay. It's gonna work for now. And I'm gonna on desktop and create this. Instead of color picker, I'm gonna call it blur gradient. And save, and then close my Photoshop. I'm not gonna save it. And then go on the desktop and import our blur gradient. And now I'm gonna go here in my blur, and on the palette, I'm gonna replace this with my own texture. Now you can see that we kind of did it. It's kind of, it can kind of be a blur slider, but you guys can definitely change it to whatever design that you think that it's cool. So I'm gonna go, and anytime that I make actually anything for Snap Camera, I always go back and forth from the desktop version to iPhone version and just like make sure that it's working on everything. I'm not gonna spend so much time on the actual layouting the UI, but I'm gonna show it to you how to use it to control the blur of the background. So the initial value for this one, I want it to be 0 because I want it to be start from 0, and you can add more blurriness to it. Then to do that, you just need to create the interaction that control this thing. We just need to go to the Lens Studio website on the actual guides that we just like went. I'm gonna open it up and we're gonna go and see some example. I'm gonna find a color picker and then scroll down, and now you can see there is example for color picker that I think it's doing what we need. I'm just gonna copy it without looking at it and then create the script here, and we can say UI controller and double click, and it's in the new script editor, which is so awesome. And I'm gonna save my project and paste the code here. Let's see what it does. The first line is saying like color picker script. Actually, we don't want it to be called color pickers because we might gonna forget in future. I'm gonna change it to blur picker script and replace all of this. Okay, and we're doing a clean code. Target visual is actually the full screen effect that the name is cool. I don't need those comments. And also in here it says adding the callback on color change. So there is two ways to get the callbacks from the color picker. You can you can see it here. There is one that on color change that passing the vector 4 value, which we don't need because our value in here, if I find it, yeah, is float. So we need the float parameter. Now this one is passing a number parameter from 0 to 1. So we need the on slider value change. I'm gonna copy this part and change it on color change to on slider value change. And we're not changing the color, we're changing the blur. And change blur, the function name is change blur. And we're not getting a new color, we're getting a new value. And we change this to new value, and everything seems to be fine for now. Oh, actually, in here, in the target visual, you can see it's changing the base color, which we don't want to change the base color. We want to change the blur amount. If I wait here, you can see the actual property name that we need. It's called blur amount. I'm gonna change the base texture to blur amount. Cool. And now the last line is setting the initial value that we already did it in the editor, so we don't need to do that. I'm gonna save it and create the new scene object and call it UI controller and drag and drop the script here. It needs two parameters. The first thing is UI blur picker, and the last thing is the post effects. Now you go here and you're changing the background blurriness. I can switch to desktop version. Maybe you can see better that my microphone also getting blurry than my lamp, and also I'm changing the color of the background, which is really nice. Okay, let's use one more thing. There's always one more thing. Let's use toggle, cause sometimes I just wanted the blur happen on my face. I cannot decide. I want to have this UI in the snap camera, so I can just like go back and forth and see like which one is better, which one is working the best. Like sometimes I don't want to see I don't want anyone to see my face, so I want to apply that effect to my face. So that should be really simple. First thing, I'm gonna bring my UI toggle, and I'm gonna actually a little bit make this thing cleaner. I'm gonna connect these two together and put the toggle actually on top of here, like something like that. Okay, and this thing is okay, and the toggle is fine. So every time, as I said, like I switch to desktop version and make sure everything is fine. Now you can see it's not fine because this thing is not aligned anymore as it is on the iPhone X. I'm gonna a little bit bring it to the side. Okay. So to make it work with them, you can go on them and you can see they are pinned to the edge, pinned to the left edge. So I wanted to do the same thing for this one. I'm gonna pin to the left edge. And now if I go to desktop, it's still, my layout is still the same. Awesome. Okay, let's go back to iPhone 8. Okay, I want this to invert the blurriness. So how to do that? Because you can go here and do this, but it's too much work and you cannot do it live in the snap camera when you're working. You want to just like, suddenly I'm thinking I want to blur my face, so you cannot do that. So you need to have something in here to like do it inside the lens. So you can go to the material that we had, and there is a note to invert any value to the negative value. Like if it's negative, it's turn it to positive, and if it's positive, it's turn it to negative. So, and it's called 1 minus. Now I'm gonna connect 1 minus here, and now you can see the blur should happen to my face. And if I disconnect this thing, the blur is happening to the background. Okay, we need that. We actually need 1 minus to happening. And we also sometimes want it to be happening on the other side. So there is a parameter here. We need a parameter, of course, called Boolean parameter or bool parameter, and which is having the it acts actually as a Boolean, and Boolean needs if. So we're gonna connect the Boolean to the condition, and if Boolean is on, I'm gonna need the blurry. But if the Boolean on default, like this is now, if the Boolean is turned on, it blurs my face. If it's not, blur the background. This is an if condition, and I'm gonna call this invert mask, and inv mask. Okay, and in the graph you can see now I'm inverting. Now my face is blurry. If I do that, the background is blurry. Cool. So we need to have a script to control that using the toggle. Again, what I'm gonna do, go to Lens Studio website, scroll down, toggle section, copy the code, simple. And then come back to the UI and paste it here. So I need the toggle script because I need the input for that. I don't need the scene object because we already have our target visual here. And switch back and switch object on and off. I'm gonna rename that because it doesn't make sense, and call it invert segmentation mask and replace all. Did it? Ooh, I think. Oh, I have to do it here. Invert segmentation mask and replace all. I change the name to invert the mask. So in here, what we're gonna do is getting the actual, like, let me clean this part and write this part. I'm gonna say script dot target visual that we want it to be inside the main pass, and we want to change what? Let's go back to the graph material and we want to change the, I'm gonna wait and see if it's show the name. If it's not, I'm gonna go here, copy the script name and go to the script editor, invert mask equal to toggle value. Okay, I'm gonna save that. And in here, on the UI controller, I need a toggle script here. Save the project, add some blurriness, do this. Whoop. Now you can see it's not working. I'm gonna open my, very sad, logger here and see if I have any problem here. I'm gonna switch this, switch that, and you can see there's nothing happening here. I'm gonna go and take a look. Oh, the problem is this boolean is static. We don't want it to be static. We want it to be changed using our code. I'm gonna uncheck it and add the blurriness, add the color. Oof, it's working. It's really cool. I'm gonna switch to desktop version, make sure that it's working in the snap camera, and wow, I really like it. Like, no one can see me in the meetings anymore. Okay, now we have our lens ready. Let's submit this to the to my lenses. Let's publish the lens. So to do that, you just need to have a name, and we're gonna call it my customizable segmentation. Just come up with a better naming than me. I'm really terrible right now at the naming. I'm gonna apply, and of course you need a lens icon here. So let's make a lens icon. Open Photoshop, and the size is 320 by 320. And I'm gonna actually go to my gradient and choose one gradient. I want it to be, I don't want to spend too much time right now for you guys, but I'm gonna apply this color in here, and at the, why is the opacity is 25. Okay. Now this is my lens icon. So I recommend you guys come up with a better lens icon. So lens icon, I'm bad with writing the name. And then remove icon, choose icon, lens icon, and save. Actually, it's kind of nice. I like it. And you go there, click publish lens, and see how easy it is to just like publish the lens. You just like say community lens, customizable segmentation, submit, and you can see that it's kind of working. So I already made that lens, so you can see it here. No one used it, but let's see how does it work in the snap camera. What I'm gonna do is actually when I don't know my name of the lens, what I can do is copy the link, like share, copy the link, and close here. I'm gonna save and close my Lens Studio and open Snap Camera. And now you can paste that link here, and you get access to that thing, which is cool. And you can use this in your meeting. This lens is called my snap camera lens or something, but you guys saw it. You can just like scrub back and see what the exact name was, but I recommend you to make the better version of it and share it with us. Thanks for watching, and if you made that lens, just like make sure to comment it in the YouTube so I can take a look and see it. Thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful day and stay safe. Bye.